Hey y'all, it's Kayla. So welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm glad to have you. I haven't posted a video in a few weeks, and there's a couple reasons behind that, and I'm going to discuss those reasons in this video. So I started keto December the 28th of 2022. I went grocery shopping, filmed a video haul on that I shared with you on January the 1st, and I gave you my goals. So my goals for January was to feel better mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I would say spiritually, I feel amazing. I think that's exactly where it needs to be at the time. I mean, I always feel like you can get closer to God, and there's, you know, you can always read more, you can always pray more. So those are things that I continue to work on. Those are great goals to have. The second thing I worked on was physically, trying to do some exercise, and that did not happen. And I'm gonna explain to you why it didn't happen. I have been very sick, which brings me into my next point of how my eating habits were. I was keto. Everyone knows when you first start doing keto, sometimes you have what's called the keto flu. This was not the keto flu. This was not a virus. I've done keto around 3 years on and off. There's a couple videos on this channel where I have not been keto. Majority of this channel I was keto. So I've done both. I've done calories, I have also done keto. That's the only two diets that I've ever done in my life. So keto made me feel really good, which is why I wanted to go back to it. Keto made me feel good mentally, it made me feel good physically, and I felt like that it would help me this time going into 2023. It would get me back on track with some great eating habits, and I could kind of develop those habits back, because when I was doing calories in the past, I felt like I made really poor food choices because I was able to eat anything and everything that I wanted, which can be great, but it can also be bad if you do not manage the types of foods that you are consuming. So for the month of January, I consumed keto foods for the most part. In the beginning, I was doing really strict keto, making sure that I had keto breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Also, I was taking days to where I would pretty much fast. Now, I would have coffee during that fast, and then I would have a lunch and also a dinner. Then it got into the point to where I was really sick. So probably around day 5, I started getting very nauseous. I just felt nauseous all day, every day. There was nothing that I could do to fix it. I was having all my electrolytes, I was having bone broth, I was eating breakfast, lunch, and supper, all keto foods, making sure that my snacks were keto. Like, I was doing nothing wrong that you could do. I'm also not pregnant. Let me say that. So that might be something else that's going through your mind. I'm not pregnant. I was not having the keto flu because I've researched all of that. I even re-researched it to make sure, you know, is there something that maybe I forgot in the past, because there was a time period that I had stopped doing keto. Was there something that maybe I had forgotten about? Definitely was not the keto flu. Every day I felt miserable. And so I sat there wondering, you know, and praying, like, I need to figure out answers. I need to know why I feel so bad, because my main goal of 2023, besides my spiritual goal, was to make sure that physically I felt better and mentally I felt better. And so me feeling sick every day, naturally, mentally did not make me feel great. Physically did not make me feel great. I couldn't exercise because I felt so sick. I was, you know, to the point of, I just really did not feel good. I felt miserable. I had energy, but I didn't feel good. So I thought about it, prayed about it, talked to my husband about it. And one night my mom was like, let's go eat Mexican. And I was like, okay, let's go. So you can have keto options at any Mexican restaurant. There's plenty of keto options, but I decided to go off track. And I decided to have one of my favorite Mexican meals. I checked my blood glucose prior to going to have this meal, and it was 80. My blood glucose had been staying around 80 to 83, sometimes 86, depending when I was doing keto. So I knew as long as it was in those range, I would be fine. I'm not a diabetic or anything like that, but I do keep a close check on my glucose levels. So We went and ate, we had a great time. I started feeling immediately better. Like within 20 minutes after eating that meal, I felt so much better. So I sat there thinking, you know, like what is causing me to feel so miserable though on keto? Like this is not something that I just wanted to stop and start, you know, it's something that I wanted to continue to do. So I got my app out on my phone that's called Lose It. And Lose It is an app that's designed for you to put in your calorie intake. It doesn't go by like a certain diet or anything like that. It is strictly just calorie based. So it only went by the foods that I was consuming that I input into the app. And it showed that my calories were like 1,000 calories or less a day. Guys, that is way too low for a woman in her 30s to consume a calorie level, in my opinion, under 1,000 calories, especially if you are wanting to work out. Like it's just not even reasonable. Like you need way more calories than that. So originally when I was doing calories, I had my calories set at 1,600. And so with doing keto, I thought, well, I'm eating more meat. Meat has calories. So, you know, I'm eating vegetables. Vegetables have really low calories. So I thought it kind of balanced everything out. And you can only consume so much food till your body is just like nauseous. So I was pushing myself to the absolute max eating, and I was still miserable. So the next day I got up, checked my blood glucose, and it was 83 from that Mexican meal. And I was like, well, that's perfect. You know, it's not too high, it's not too low. My glucose is staying normal, just like it has been through keto. Again, you know, I have no health problems in that area to my knowledge anyway. I just like to keep a check on it. So I then decided that that whole next day I would just do calories, and I would just try to make really good healthy choices, include more vegetables in my dishes along with some carbs, and see if I upped my calories closer to that 1,600 mark, but making just normal food choices, not being on like a diet, would I feel better? And it was amazing. I feel great. So since then I have started doing calories. I do want to say that I'm sorry if you were following this channel to only see keto videos. Moving forward in 23, from now on, I will be posting videos that will show the amount of calories that I'm eating and the types of food that I am consuming that are healthy choice foods. Now you will see some foods that are not extremely healthy in your opinion, but this is my health journey and I want to be able to feel great, and I hope you come along with me. I hope I can give you some ideas of some meal plans that will make you feel really good in 23, mentally and physically. You need to feel great. Spiritually, you need to feel great. So I would say my goals are continuing on. They have changed a little bit slightly because of my food, but spiritually, I feel like I'm in a great position. I don't feel like you can ever learn too much about God or be too close to God. So I do want to continue to read more. I also want to continue to make good, healthy food choices, and I want to be able to get some fitness in this year. So be able to do some walking, be able to get on my elliptical some. Those are my new goals for 2023. I'm sorry I had to change them up. I hope you guys understand, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video where I'm going to share more recipes with this new goal in mind of calories, and I hope you come along with me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.